Good morning, Vuka. Good morning, Vuka Zimbabwe, Muka Zimbabwe here. Ziamnandi ziyajuluka. Ta 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 ta. Good morning, viewers and listeners. It's Vuka Zimbabwe, Muka Zimbabwe here, and kumele sivumelane into eyodwa nje tofuna ukubhumelana ukuthi izinto azambe kahle ekhaya bakithi zina zikufamba mushe eZimbabwe Juliet sawubona siphithiphithi sesiphalaphala kunjani ngwangu iZimbabwe kumele ivuke bafowethu no doubt even football yacho tinowina sei bhora racho tinowina sei mandichirakashwa so zimwe nyika dzikaziya kuti avana baba munodhererwa Uganda iri kuti dherera Egypt yakati dherera ezvine zvikongo yati rakasha. It's purely because people, we have lost our dignity, we have lost our integrity, we have lost ubuntu weight. We are not seen as a nation that is worth talking about anymore. Abantu bayasidelela basijwayela amakhabi ihulumende yasijwayela namanye amazwe asasijwayela futhi nawo. It's purely because they actually realize that this country, they've lost their dignity. We have lost our dignity. There's no doubt about that. It is important that we as Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe kumele ivuke, kumele sibambane. And as you have seen today, there's a shutdown which has been called out by Promise Mkwananzi of Tajamuka. It is painful. It is extremely painful. Most of the people here, I'm sure you guys were never interested in politics. Most of you guys, never. Even myself, I was never interested in politics, worrying about Uti, Izanu, E10, MDC, E10, Izapit. I was never really interested in politics. We were never interested in politics, but things, when they start going wrong, it kind of awakens you. It starts, getting you worried. Most of you people, you were never interested in what's going on in Zimbabwe. As long as you've got your food, your bread, and your butter on the table, then you know that you are sorted. But now the situation is going back to 2008, if not worse than 2008. It's a little bit worrying. It is a little bit worrying, and that's the reason why I always come and say Vuka Zimbabwe, Vuka, Muka Zimbabwe, Muka. It is our responsibility as a nation. Hi Melody Tigre, I want to speak. How are you as well? And I'm just saying, you know what, guys? Sometimes, as much as we want to, dash. Ndiyana singadeka dash, ndiyana singade kunzwaka dash, ndiyana singade kuenda pamandla launch achinoona vasikana vachitamba vachita say we all want that, but at the same time there is a moment whereby you really want to look at where you come from, where Zimbabwe is our country. At the same time, we cannot turn a blind eye is killing our country. And I'm not talking from an MDC perspective, I'm talking from a citizen who is actually concerned. It is our responsibility as a nation. It is definitely our responsibility. Regardless of who's to support a party, I think it is important that we understand. That our country really needs us right now. If we do not take action, even our children, they are going to laugh at us. They are going to indict us. They're going to indict us for doing nothing and watching the country burn. That's the thing. And it's not about me only, it's also about the future generation. As much as people, we are cowards. We are cowards. There is no doubt about that. The moment people start talking about politics, if you're in South Africa, you're in the US, you're in the UK, you're in the Canada, the first thing you're worried about, as soon as I open my mouth, I'm worried about going back home. What do you want to go home for? What for? There's nothing. akuna mgwaqo, akuna migwagwa, akuna kudla, akuna kudya, akuna mvura, akuna ugetsi, akuna magetsi. So why do you really want to go home? Why are you scared to speak out your mouth? Why are you scared to be a voice of the voiceless? Why are you afraid to be a human rights activist? Why are you afraid to stand for those who can't stand for themselves? Because you are worried that when you go back home, you won't have a free passage to get in the country. And when you get in the country, still you don't have your freedom. Does it really make any sense? We cannot sit down and watch our country burn. And people look for solutions which are quick. Like as I'm speaking right now, people are like, okay, all right, Vuka. So much Vuka. It is not me who is going to come with the solution for our country. We have to come collectively with this solution for our country. Muka, I don't care people, they call them the CIOs or but they are starting to make little baby steps, you know, for us to have a remedy for our problems in our country, for us to diagnose. We have diagnosed already that we have got one cancer, which is ZANU-PF. There is no doubt about that. I don't want to talk about politics. You guys at Mvenge, you certainly don't want, and politics. You don't want to hear about politics. It is boring, it is frustrating. Sometimes, most of the time, it is absolutely negative, okay? But at the same time, if we don't talk about it, okay, if we don't talk about politics, if we don't come debate about politics, then who is gonna do it? We will leave those few elite who are in government to get away with crime. And I am great. Excuse me. I'm very happy that we have got social platform medias like this where we come and we speak. Can you imagine everything bad that is happening in the country right now? Minangizondi is ZANU-PF. I'm blaming ZANU-PF. I'm blaming ZANU-PF purely because imagine if we were to have new reforms in the country. We can't have them because ZANU-PF cannot reform itself. ZANU-PF, it's a mosquito. It cannot cure malaria. ZANU-PF it is. I'm not talking about Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. When I talk about Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, people tend to think if we get rid of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, we got rid of the problem. We have to get rid of the whole flipping cancer, which is ZANU-PF. We need to get rid of ZANU-PF at whatever cost, okay? And I'm sure some of you guys might not agree with what I'm saying here. Some of you might not agree with what I'm saying here, but it is true. I think this is when we saw 2017, that was an opportunity for Zimbabweans to start to have a fresh start. That was an opportunity for Zimbabweans to have a fresh start. And now, fast forward, we're in 2019, and we are having another opportunity again to have another fresh start. Not that we are taking advantage of the situations that are happening home, but we have got a true desire. We have got a true desire burning in our heart. We want to see a vote. This is exactly what we want. Hi, Mofiacho, how are you? I can see quite a few friends that I know. We should have a burning desire in our hearts. Of course, ngati tambe ma clocks, ndana singade utamba ma clocks, ndana singade utamba chibevurirwa, ndana singade utamba, all these things. We all want to play all these dances, but at the same time, we cannot enjoy to the fullest kutamba ma clocks. We cannot enjoy to the fullest kudasharara kuitaka dash urukunyika dzamwe vanhu, okay? And those people who are also Christians, you can never enjoy the fruits of your land and enjoy it fully kan South Africa. In America, racism is extreme. It's so extreme to a point whereby black people are targeted all the time. So the best solution we have is to fix our country. Yes, it's good, but is it the best option? No, it's not. Good morning, Rufaro. Good morning to you. How are you? I see you people greeting me. I can see you. I want to greet you back, but at the same time, I'm just thinking of this shutdown that people are talking about. I'm praying and hoping that nobody gets shot. At the moment, I haven't seen lots of photos that are coming from our right, but at the same time, it is important that we understand. Good morning, Craig. Goodbye, Craig. Yeah, I see you guys as well. I see you guys coming through. Yeah, it is important that we understand that ZANU-PF is the cancer that we do really need to get rid of. ZANU-PF is the absolutely cancer that we need to get rid of. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa has failed to deliver. It is not sanctions that is destroying our country. Sanctions are definitely not killing our people. They are not definitely killing our people. Please don't listen to this stupid rhetoric that people come. I've seen people putting Godza, excuse my expression, I'm a little bit angry right now. I've seen people putting Godza lipstick, putting lipstick on a pig. I've seen people going into the toilet, kutora dunga kurisa lipstick, and trying to think they're gonna make it look attractive. That's what most of the educated people in Zimbabwe who are defending ZANU-PF are doing. They are taking a pig and putting lipstick, lipstick per pig, you know, trying to cosmetically change a pig so that it can suit their narrative. There is no doubt in my mind that sanctions are not killing us in Zimbabwe, but what is killing us is definitely corruption. You will hear academics, they will come with all these theories, okay? Those theories, let us hold on for a second. It is clear that corruption, these brown envelopes, in other countries, they call them brown envelopes, okay? How does two full aeroplanes, okay? Two aeroplanes just disappear. Two aeroplanes just disappear. Honestly, do you know the cost of two aeroplanes? Do you know what it takes to run and maintain those two aeroplanes? Okay, Vuka, don't forget about fundraising event on Saturday in Derby. Just put the details down there. Yes, I'm gonna definitely do so. It is important, guys, you know, that we understand that yes, it is politics at play, but sometimes if you don't hold your politicians accountable, definitely things will never ease into ngeke zichinje. And funkabela banga bafowethu asifunkabela namanga sikhohlisana atithi tinyengedzane tithe say andithi the moment we keep on quiet about things, we know the absolute truth of what's happening in Zimbabwe. I'm not talking about the killings, I'm not talking about the rape, I'm not talking about the abduction, I'm not talking about all those things that actually where people were physically and mentally affected by ZANU-PF. And someone's writing there, ZANU-PF must fall. Yes, you're definitely right. Kuba ndege, exactly, Kuba ndege, two ndege. So people asking me, I can see a question there. So what is killing Zimbabwe? What is killing Zimbabwe is ZANU-PF, its policies, and also at the same time, we have to understand corruption is the biggest thing killing our country. $80 billion has been stolen since 1985. Just recently, 2.8 billion has also been stolen by the ZANU-PF government. Just recently. So I'm not talking about the 15 billion that you guys know, whether it was a myth, whether it was a theoretical thing, whether it was a cooked up thing. I don't really care. But the reality and the truth is that we have got a problem. The government keeps on siphoning money from us, stealing the money that could possibly build the country. And we are just sat there, and we're like, oh no, and we big up my boss. I don't know, you have seen that girl, Tandeka, you know, we have seen those people, and we know those people, they're criminals. We have seen the people like Mpov, we have seen the people, you know, all the big wigs in ZANU-PF, they are rotten to the core. That is the reason why. Look, people, they say, why do you hate ZANU-PF? Maybe if ZANU-PF, if ZANU-PF, this is my look, you are more than welcome to make your suggestions. I understand. If ZANU-PF had reformed, you know, when Emmerson Mnangagwa did the coup, Emmerson Mnangagwa was given a clean pledge. Even the British, they believed him. The whole world literally believed the guy that he's going to reform. They literally believed him. He came with the Zimbabwe is open for business mantra, and that was a good selling point. Emmerson Mnangagwa, I can surely tell you, from the moment he had a coup, I actually believed, I was scared in my heart that he's going to make it. I was really scared. I was scared in my heart that Emmerson Mnangagwa was going to make it. Even though, why was I scared? I knew the history of Emmerson Mnangagwa, how ruthless he was. I knew how ruthless he was, the important role he played with Shiri, Chiwenga, and Gukura Hunda. I knew how ruthless these guys were. I've had personal experience with these guys, how they control the cartels, gold cartels, ruthlessly in Kwekwe, Kadoma, Chegut. I knew we are dealing Nembava. You've seen a video where Tendai came and say, the Emmerson Mnangagwa is the headmaster, is the archbishop of all the thieves. Exactly, Amanda and Tandega. Change means new governments, new leaders. That's exactly what I think. Change, new government, new leadership. I think this is what I want. I've always had a rhetoric whereby, you've seen the MDC. The MDC came out with a new government which is ready to lead. This is what the MDC is saying, that they've got a full government ready to lead. But at the same time, we've got people as well like Nkosana Moyo. We've got the people as well who are from other opposition leaders. They are saying, yes, we need a transitional government, a government that is made up of people who are experienced, people who have got the right qualities. Honestly, you tell me between what is it doing for us? What is Mutodi doing in the government? What is Ziambe doing in the government? The guys have no clue. They are corrupt. What the flipping hell are they doing in the government? They don't have the qualities to be ministers or to hold the position that they have. And what are they doing? And I'm saying, if we have a transitional government, I'm not saying a transitional unit government, you take MDC, no. We want people who are credible to run the government so that we can implement the reforms that are much needed. At the moment, there is no reforms that we can implement with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is the judge, is the jury, is the lawyer, it's everything. It's everything is ZANU-PF. And we know that they are clueless at the moment. They are clueless. We cannot have these type of leaders that we have right now and expect Zimbabwe to change. We cannot have that. Let me just quickly read your comment. Tese tikava nepfungwa dzaunadzo wangu zim people will rise bu vanhu tinochka. Exactly. People, we simagwara. Good morning. Trimagwara. I think we have kumele sivume pakat penhlizyo yet. We have to start by agreeing and accepting that Trimagwara. There is a few individual. Look, I don't want to insult other people who have got the courage, who have got the moral courage, and also the physical courage to go and attack the ZANU-PF, to go and put up the fight with the ZANU-PF. We have seen right now what the MDC youth are doing. I'm really sorry, I'm referring a lot to the MDC because there are these guys on the ground that I'm seeing. And I've also seen the Muka. They're also coming up. They've come up with this shutdown. If anyone is in Zimbabwe right now, please let me know this one. How is the shutdown going? How is the shutdown going? I would love to know how is the shutdown going, because at the moment I've seen a few photos of shutdown. I've seen a few photos of shutdown. But at the same time, it is important as Zimbabweans that it's a bambane. I was listening to one professor. He was saying, for an idea to sink into someone's mind, it needs to be repeated again and again and again and again and again and again. I think people, they don't seem to grasp it, that ZANU-PF is a cancer. And sometimes this needs to be drilled again and again into people's minds, that ZANU-PF is a cancer. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa is an illegitimate leader, is a leader for ZANU-PF, not for the country. They rig the elections and they can't rig the economy. And this is where we are. It's purely because of the flawed elections. It's because of the rigged elections. He cannot get his legitimacy. And the issue we have at hand is legitimacy, corruption, as well as all these bad things that are happening in the country right now. All these things that are happening in the country right now is because of Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa and he's few clueless. Zimbabwe, we were destined. Let me see if I need to try activate my. If anyone wants to come on the, I can add people. Yeah, if anyone wants to join me on live, please do. I say back 2008 is back. Yes, 2008 is really back. It is back, but the difference, I'm just going to play a video.
Unoona zviguno zvisipo. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi headmaster wemambava. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi archbishop wembava. Kune mbavha yaimbonzi Mobutu Sese Seko yanga iri kuZaire uko. Mobutu Sese Seko ndi pastor. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi bishop.
We're going to try to play that again.
Ende Mugabanga ari nani? Mugabanga ari nani? Kana ari Emmerson Mnangagwa akakumhoresa vereka zviguno. Unoona zviguno zvisipo. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi headmaster wemambava. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi archbishop wembava. Kune mbavha yaimbonzi Mobutu Sese Seko yanga iri kuZaire uko. Mobutu Sese Seko ndi pastor. Emmerson Mnangagwa ndi bishop. ende mugabanga ari nani mugabanga ari nani kana ari Emerson Mnangagwa akakumhoresa vereka zvigunu unoona zvigunu zvisipo Emerson Mnangagwa ndi headmaster wemambavha Emerson Mnangagwa ndi archbishop wembavha kune mbavha yaimbonzi Mobutu Sese Seko yanga iri kuZaire uko Mobutu Sese Seko ndi pastor Emerson Mnangagwa ndi bishop.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. Vuka Zimbabwe, Muka Zimbabwe here. This is the reason why I say Vuka Zimbabwe kumele ivuke. Vuka Zimbabwe kumele ivuke. Vuka, we have ukuthi sivuka kumele sivuke madoda. Kundufa ukuthi simuke wakumala. This is what I was talking about. If it is a matter, listen to this. Hans Nama Clean Timbov. It's not about being Magwara when it's a matter of life and death. Look, I understand where you're coming from. It's not about it. But do you understand that ZANU-PF is killing us slowly? The fact that we do not have medicine in the hospital, the fact that they are denying us the right to medication and free healthcare in the country, that is how they're killing us. How many people are dying in Pilo Hospital in Bulawayo? People are dying in Parenyato Hospital in Bulawayo, in Harare, because we don't have medication. Medication. I just say, please, let us not justify the unjustifiable. Emerson Mnangagwa and the ZANU-PF government, they have got bad governance. They have failed the economy. They have failed to run this country. And there is no doubt in my mind that if they go, that's exactly what I think. That is exactly what I think. Please make no mistake. A matter of butter and bread, we can come and debate and talk. But a matter of life and death, there is nothing to reason with Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF government. They will continue to kill us. Think about what's happening right now. A million march in Sudan. They're doing a million march against the government and the military. We have seen Malawi as well, and they're making some efforts. And we Zimbabweans, I'm not blaming you, but at the same time, I'm accepting and appreciating we are in a hardship. However, we need to bold up. We need to be bold enough. Hello, yes,
Vuka zvirizei?
Mushe sese mdarong.
Mushe kwakadi ndidangoti ndingotsinhira mashoko auri kutaura, mashoko akanaka, mashoko anokurudzira kuti vanhu vaite zvavanofanira kuti vaite kuti Zimbabwe idzoke mumaoko mevana veZimbabwe zvakare. Handiti uri kuona nyaya yauri kutaura iyi kusiri kufa ndekupi, takatourayiwa kare. Takatourayiwa kare nekuti kufa kwekutanga ndekwekuti mwana weZimbabwe ari kutadza kuenda patepi achinovhura mvura. Achinovhura mvura kuti ingobuda mvura yakachena. Hatisati tombosvika kumwe kunhu kwakaoma. Mwana weZimbabwe, munhu ari mutaundi izvezvi, ari kurarama kunge munhu ari kumusha. Anofanira kuzvipa time yekuti aende kuchibhorani kunochera mvura. Mwana weZimbabwe izvezvi ari mutaundi kutaura kuno, akapinda mutoilet kuti agweje zvaaita, order dzake dzaaita mutoilet haakwanise. Anofanira kutombotanga atsvaga kabhaketi kuti aringirike. Tadzoserwa kumashure kutoni age. Taakuita kunge vanhu vari kurarama nemabhleya toilet mutaundi. Tikati chiri kutikonzera kuti tisvike patira inhau yekutumira nekuteerera zvinhu zvisina basa, yekuteerera zvinhu zvisina maturo. Vabiti is saying right there kuti Emerson Mnangagwa is the bishop of thieves. We have seen nekuudza kwaakaita mbavha inodzi muturi-n'uwe kuti izoita an operation of mass stealing, a haste kuZimbabwe, kuRBZ uko. Akatanga ambotibira ari kuningirika uko, ari kuBarbican. Adzokororazve umbavha hwake. akaba zvekare ari kuti kambani chaanga achishandira. Did you hear kuti boss wake soon after achangobva mutuvi the boss was arrested? Saka imbavha munhu uyu, hapana chinhu cha ndi professor wembavha. Saka vari kurikrutana pachimbavha mbavha pavo ipapo to come up with schemes day in day out yekuti vanyatsobira vanhu. Saka people of Zimbabwe, hakuna munhu achauya kuzosunungura vana veZimbabwe. It's time we stop looking at the next person kuti iwewe ndiwe uchasunungura Zimbabwe. Look at yourself as the liberator of this country.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at yourself as the future of tomorrow. Zitarise wozviona sekuti iwewe kusatarise the next person, iwewe ndiwe zuva racho raakutobuda, zuva ritsva. A new Zimbabwe begins with you. Don't look at the next person. This is my word to all Zimbabwe. Usatarise mumwe munhu kuti ndichatumirira Vuka kuti Vuka kana azodai. Aiwa, do something pauri ipapo. Rwadziwa ita hasha, kana waita hasha wobva waacta.
Look, Mdara, I'm just gonna quickly read our comments here. Amanda Tandekanjlov is saying our problem as a nation is that we are cowards. One shut down, people get arrested, some go missing. Isusi Tasara, we all get scared. Then after a while, we start again. Same thing happens. We stop. We keep doing. Over and over. We need to try harder to always end past step one. So, you know, Tandika is saying we are cowards because we are, as much as we take one step forward, we're taking 10 backwards. We take one step forward, we take 9 backwards. So what exactly do we, you see, we are caught in a 6 catch 9 catch, you know, because as much as we want to do something for our country, at the same time, we've got the armed forces, we have got the police, we've got the security services who are fighting against us. But the question is, as much as they've got the police, they've got the ammunition. We have seen the government has spent millions over the past 2 months buying ammunition and those robotics gear, you know, for the police. What do we have as people so that we can fight against the government morally as well on the ground, theoretically, on social media, and even economically? What should we do? That is the question.
Isusu sevana veZimbabwe vari kuziva varwadziwa vasvika kure. Inhau yechokwadi yataurwa apa kuti we are very selfish, very self-centered. Kanyaya yake kuti kana ndawana chingwa nhasi ndikakwanisa kunotenga tuchingwa twandatenga paPick and Pay apa. Ndobva ndaseka the next person kuti ona havana chingwa. We have to stop that. Because kachingwa kawana musi iwoyo, the next day you are still going to, you know, be queuing for that. Think about the next person. Think about ambuya vako, because iwewe you can be going pa Pick and Pay, wonoita madhiri, wopiwa chi? Wotenga chingwa chauri kunotenga chechi. Handitika? But ambuya vako vari kumaramba pfungo uko, kana vari kumatusadona. Handiti? Pashopu yavo, pakashopu kavo kari 1 kilometer away, kari 500 meters away.
Ndara, listen to this. Hanses Wenena MacD, I've heard fellow countrymen and women celebrating and chanting melodic songs because Magetsa Adzoka. Whoa, a basic night, right? We have been reduced to rodents. Just the Magetsa Pano Adzoka, the whole location, you know, Imbane Puruza no far out Magetsa Adzoka. We have been reduced to rodents.
That's very true. That's very true. You know, we've been reduced to nothing. So I was saying, ambuya vako vari ukoko kumusha uko iwo kutenga mutaundi, but ambuya vako havasi kukwanisa kutenga sugar. ambuya vako havana the basics that she needs to survive. Sipo vari kuishaya because it's not affordable. So it's high time we stop. We look beyond ourselves. You know, Kuti, what have I done? What are you doing? What legacy are you leaving for your children? What legacy are you leaving for your children? Are you leaving your children in this era of total economic and social collapse? An era of anarchy and doom? Those are going continue a time where there will be no jobs, a time where parents sacrifice to send their kids to chikoro, but kuti vazoita anonzi machi vakomana vanogara pamabridge vasina chavari kubuda nacho, because that's what parents are doing. Izvezvi in Zimbabwe, people are sacrificing their hard-earned money. Iri kubiwa futi nechihurumende chembavha inonzi Munangagwa. They're sacrificing their money to send vana vavo kuzvikoro zviri nani, zvikoro zvinovapa ramangwana rakajeka. But why are we doing that if we have no jobs in our country? We are wasting time. Even if vana vechikoro chaiwo, the little kids, they shouldn't even go to school. Kana kukanzi, let's stay away. Tanga nekuchengeta mwana wako pamba, rwadziwa uchengete mwana wako pamba, uti mwana wangu haasi kuenda kuchikoro. Andonzisa Vuka. Saka ndo patinofanira kutangira. The unity begins there. Kuti padaizirwa stay away. Iwewe mbereki iwewe. Uri kuchema uchiti kumari yangu haisi kukwana kubasa kwandiri kuenda. Uri kutambira $25 in 30 days. $25 which is not enough. Sometimes maybe hatodzika food. It's less than $25 that they are earning. But you are saying, teacher, uri kurwadziwa, uri kukomplaina, but wotumira mwana wako kuchikoro kuna teacher. What are you expecting kuti zvizoite? What are you expecting to change the status quo?
But Dara, let me just it is important that we hear from our viewers as well what they actually think. I'm reading a comment by King Luther Ludmore. He's saying continued shutdowns until UN forces come for peacekeeping. Enough is enough until the junta is arrested. I don't know, what do you think? Because we have seen calls by even other Zimbabweans that why are we depending? Why do we want the UN, the US, and other foreign countries to come and intervene in our situation? Why should we not Zimbabweans do something? Because you see what's happening in Sudan. It is the citizens who are taking action. Same applies in Malawi. It is the citizens who are actually taking that first push to obviously find the solutions. They're trying to have the remedy for the problem. They're trying to combat the issues that they have in their countries. So why are we calling? Luther, I'm not taking a dig at you, but I'm just trying to understand as Zimbabweans, where exactly do we, what exactly do we do? You have also come down and say it's a human rights abuse. Those who have started away, keep staying away, the others will join you. Right, I don't know. Okay, your comments, please. If anyone else wants to join me here on Benga Vuka, Zimbabwe, Muka, Zimbabwe, please do press the add button, and I should be able to bring you back, bring you here on screen. Go on, Mdara.
Yes, zirikutaurwa namukoma King Luther izvo zvino ndizvo zvatinofanira kuti tiite sevanhu vari pamwe chete. It's time zvandiri kutaura, we go back to what I'm saying, kuti we should be selfless. We should not be self-centered at all. We should continue the shutdowns. But the unfortunate part is vanhu vakaita sana UN, let's not look much to them. Let's not look much to anyone, even the EU. Let's not look much to them, because zvinoitika politics is no like permanent friend. You know, politics has permanent interests. So that's one thing we should be aware of as Zimbabwe. Saka isusu maZimbabwe ndisu tarwadziwa, ndisu tabayiwa. Saka tabayiwa kudaro, what do we do?
Mona, Mdara,
Yes.
Tarwirwa Mutapa is saying, all I'm saying is we are serial complainers. All talk, no action. The main opposition is let down many in the country. What we need is a better opposition, not Mahumbwe Aya. You know what, Takawira, I don't know where you're coming from, and I don't know where you're going.
Let me respond to this man. He is looking at the opposition. Who is the opposition? If he is one of the members of the opposition, you are the people who are letting the opposition down. Because the action starts with you, the citizen. Because the opposition has its people, yes, but iwewe as the citizen warwadziwa. Why don't you stay away? You can't stay away. You know, they are trying tooth and nail to shike kupi. So the action starts with you, not the next person. That's all I'm saying. You cannot look at the next person and say, Ningi has failed. What have you done for yourself? What have you done for your freedom? What have you sacrificed for your freedom? We know these people in the opposition have sacrificed a lot. We even have lives, people who lost lives as a result of this very struggle. Is that not sacrifice enough? What have you sacrificed as the citizen? Iwewe urukutanga, because watotanga ndiwe complain. Others are doing them as much as they can within their space. Others are doing as much as they can within their space. What have you done yourself? Before you even point a finger at the next person, what step have you done? Have you taken as a Zimbabwean arwadziwa, as a Zimbabwean anzwane kutambiriswa kana kuti ane mwana asina achazoshaya basa apedza chikoro? Do not point fingers at anyone. This is a Zimbabwean issue. The opposition has just done so much. If anything, these people have been fearless and very strong to sustain the struggle to this day. Yes, they've done a lot. So much, so much zvakawanda zvariziswa as a result of the opposition doing what it has done. What have we done? What have we done to support them? What have we done to move the struggle forward?
You know, guys,
so it's the duty of the citizen.
Let me just highlight a few things to you here that so people can understand the government that we're dealing with, okay? Personally, I would love to give my suggestion of exactly what could be done for us to achieve or to have the desired outcome out of this struggle. The desired outcome will be getting rid of ZANU-PF. Then we can have a government of our own choice. It's fine. MDC, BZA, it's fine. As long as we help to map up the democracy that we need for our country. I could suggest things that I know would definitely work. But however, before I even finish speaking here, probably things that will change out there. So I'm sure you guys, you know exactly where I'm going with this. So for that reason, I'm not going to talk about what exactly I suggest. But let me just highlight a few things to you. Do you know that most of the human rights activists, the people who preaches about human rights, that make sure that I'm not protester, we had 7 who were recently arrested, and others are in hiding, and others are missing. The ZANU-PF government is arresting everybody who is talking against them or who is taking a little bit of an action, okay, to try and find remedy to the problems that we have in the country. Number one, the opposition you are talking about, that the opposition is not doing anything. Most of the opposition leaders, they are on bail. Some of them, they're in detention. Most of them, they're actually in hiding. So how do you expect an opposition to be extremely effective when most of its members are in hiding? Most of its members are not even allowed to talk on social media. Most of its members, they are being followed around and being intimidated. But let me show you one thing. We have seen the MDC youth in particular. If you have seen other party youth, please do tell me. I'm more than welcome to say ZAPU yakata zvakati, BZT yakata zvakati, kana kuti mamwe asingazikani mamwe akata zvakati. Then we can see what are these other political parties doing. I've seen the MDC youth wing right now is going door to door, preaching new democracy for Zimbabwe, preaching that ways to get finance and resuscitate our economy. They are talking about a new Zimbabwe that will benefit everybody. So yes, the MDC, personally, I think they're the only opposition political party right now who are actually trying to push the government out. They might not be perfect. I just want you people to hear me. Open your ears clearly.
I'm going downstairs. I'm coming back.
MDC might not be perfect, but I can surely tell you right now, MDC is by far, apart from ZANU-PF, it is far better than ZANU-PF. It is a party that we can say, if it goes in power, it has proved in the government of national unity that they can resuscitate the economy with it came as Minister of Finance. There is no doubt in my mind that even tonight it was to go into that finance position right now, our country's economy will be turned around straight away. I had the privilege to speak to David Coulthard. I had the privilege to speak to David Coulthard when he came here just 2-3 weeks ago. And the way he was talking about eradicating, or actually saying, dealing with corruption, taking accountability for our financial position as a party and as a nation, I can surely tell you, you know, let me not say I want to believe. You know, sometimes white people, they've got standards that we as black people don't have. I don't want to think that I'm elevating white people over as black people, but I have seen even the way he was talking. If I was to have a conversation with another black brother or another black person, I don't think we would have that conversation that way. The way he was so sincere about dealing with corruption, the way he was so sincere about pushing the Zimbabwean economy forward, the way he was so sincere about including, about including Zimbabwe into the Commonwealth, into the international. It is actually almost automatic. It is almost automatic. It is almost automatic. If MDC gets back into power, I'm not talking about MDC Alliance. It's not called MDC Alliance anymore. It's only called MDC. I just want to let people, I'm not talking about as an MDC spokesman. I'm just talking as an opinionist, because most of you, some so this is exactly what I'm saying, that without a shadow of a doubt, MDC is taking the fight to the devil. The only change you can do right now, people are asking me, what do we have to do? If you want to make a change, okay, you cannot fight alone. We have seen people like we've got a guy who was called Zamara. Zamara was bold. He was bold and he fought alone. And unfortunately, we never gave him that backing. And he was not successful. And the guy disappeared. The guy was, I'm sure he was murdered by ZANU-PF, you know. We have never heard about the guy anymore. We have seen people who tried with Margaret Dongo. You know, Margaret Dongo, Angaro Warren Park, he had good principles. He wanted a change for Zimbabwe, but she was alone and she could not even make it. So the whole idea is as much, even myself, I just written, to those who doesn't know, I've just recently joined MDC. I've just realized you cannot make a change when you are alone. We have seen Father Emma was even independent. And now she has joined force with MDC. I was actually told yesterday when MDC was having their party, there's a guy who's called Kudamusa Siwa, and he was actually putting his red cap and he was in the camp. I don't know whether he has joined MDC. We have heard rumors that there's a possibility that Pastor Mawarema is joining MDC. So all I'm trying to say is, if we unite, we can see now that the MDC is collecting other people. I don't care if it was ZAPU, still it's fine. If it was BZA, still it's fine, as long as they're prepared to take the fight to the devil. That's what I'm talking about. So when somebody comes and asks me, what do I do? What do you want us to do? Let's join forces. If you don't want to join MDC, it's fine. But join the forces with those people who wants to take the fight to the devil itself. Being quiet does not solve the problem. Shut up nje. Uhlala uthule laphana. Akuncedi ulutho ngoba iZANU-PF izoqhubeka esikhakheni emhlophe. Akuncedi lokho. Please don't give me this silly quote. There's some comments that I ain't gonna even bother read. So guys, let's agree on one thing. Let's agree on one thing. If you disagree with me, absolutely fine. Ed, I've got an Ed button there. You can come on and I can have a conversation with you if you want. Dara, thank you for joining me. Guys,
let me read from what Barbara blesses. Protests or demonstrations must come from citizens, just like what happens in other countries, to avoid arbitrary. Is what Blessing has just said there. What Blessing has just said there, that these protests must come from citizens. Imagine a scenario whereby let's say Dr. Manyika for BZA was to come and say road shut down. Okay, that already carries a sentence from my understanding. Why is he pushing for that? So as we know, our government, the way they operate, they interpret the laws and the constitution, they will find a way to try and arrest Dr. Manyika. And so same applies to if Nelson Chamisa was to come out and say Munwese Mugwagwa. Do you remember what happened in the 1st of August? Even Nelson Chamisa never came out and say Vanendea Mugwagwa. ZANU-PF was actually, they wanted his blood. In January, exactly the same thing. So sometimes you wonder why, maybe this is just me assuming that Nelson Chamisa is not coming out and say let's go in the streets, let's because there is an element
that if you guys let him down, how do you know that it's going to be on his own? We want to then Jablani sawubona ndoda kunjani skipan.
Yes,
Hayi mfowethu ngiyancenga tawulaneni zibheda zinjani usekhaya ukuphi khuluma nami mfowethu wamfoka baba Sizwe.
Cape Town bafo.
Hey utheni uthi singayenza nelizwe lethu ethaseni ikedi ngicela uhlanganise ukuthi abanye basizwe njengoba sihlangane la amanguni nabo bani yabona lonto.
Misa into zakhona I don't think singahlangana because yonke into singathi isehlathini singathi apha ngapha yonke into asosivane misa. Abantu base-MDC abantu base-ZANU-PF enza bangakwazi ukuhlala phansi bonke badibane basifake enhloko kunye, otherwise ilizwe lethu ngabe right misa.
Ucabanga kanjalo?
Kanjalo misa, because there's no one ukuthi singathi inyenkomo isisibheka ngapha isibheka ngapha. I don't think singahlangana misa.
Okay. The problem that I foresee here, do you remember when we had a government of national unity? And obviously, the MDC performed extremely well and ZANU-PF took all the credit. It is well known, it is on record. And when they took all the credit, they came back and destroyed the country after the government of national unity. So don't you see that it's going to be a repetition of what happened again in that era of our government of national unity? So you suggesting that MDC and ZANU-PF should join together. I don't know what you guys think. I'm going to put to the floor and say, this gentleman, ZANU-PF and MDC, I don't know what you guys think.
Into ndicinga yona misa into eyi-one ne. Sikwazi ukuthi ilizwe lethu ibe right thina. I don't one sicinga yona ithi abantu abadala ngawo basicinezeleyo, you understand? Because ulutsha leyo ulufundileyo ngoku lingakwazi ukuthi ilizwe litshintshe, but abakwazi ukuthi sitshintshe ilizwe because ungafunda ungathini ungabe unama-degree but awusenzi yenze nithi ungafika kule ndawo uvote hayi nguphoto boy hayi nguclean but nema-degree abantu abadala lapha
I can't hear you properly. But my brother, let me tell you one thing. My biggest issue, the biggest problem that I have right now, most of the MDC people, supporters, and even people who are in the structures, they are always being targeted by the security forces. And I want to take my hat off to the guys who are on the ground, who are running around and making sure that they are taking the fight to the government itself. So you tell me, if I was to bring you a list of people who have been killed by ZANU-PF right now, even on the just recently, people who have been abducted. Can you tell me, is it going to be possible for people to come on the table and start talking? I don't understand. We have got people who are in sorry, my brother. We couldn't find him. We couldn't hear properly. People are complaining about volume. This is what I don't understand, people. Okay, right? As much as this is my own personal opinion, as much as to come together and start discussing these issues, how is that going to be possible? Remember last time the MDC was saying we have got when Wendy was imprisoned, when Shibaya was imprisoned, and when other people. How are we going to have a dialogue when half of the MDC leadership is in hiding in prison or being persecuted by the ZANU-PF government? How is it possible that we can have those talks? I'm just talking about the recent events only. We are not talking about all these people who have been killed since, we were talking about 2008. How many people were killed in 2008? How many people were killed by ZANU-PF? Lots of people. They still have got fresh wounds of ZANU brutality and, the things that were done by ZANU-PF. We still have got fresh wounds. And how can we sit with the very same killer on the table? How can we sit down with the very same killer on the same table and try to... I don't understand. Okay, there is two elements. Please, people hear me. There is two elements. There is an element whereby, yes, it might be a good move, but at the same time, people might feel that it's betrayal. People might think that MDC is betraying them. That's what people might think. That we have come so far and we are almost close to win. And now they are betraying us. They are actually selling the struggle. Because this is what I see. You cannot sign a deal with the devil and be afraid of heat. ZANU-PF is the devil. ZANU-PF is a well-oiled machine. I'm not talking about Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa will go. But look at other characters that we have in ZANU-PF. And I can surely tell you, they are as equally evil as Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa because the system is still the same. So I personally say, we have to take the fight to ZANU-PF. We have to remove ZANU-PF. Come blessing, I'll add you. Come blessing, I'm not going to be long. I'm almost finishing right now. I'm almost finishing because I've been standing for too long. I need to do some work. Come blessing. I'm gonna give you a few minutes just to go.
Yeah, morning, Vuka. Morning, everyone who is following this. I just wanted to clarify something on those people who are insisting about our president, leading the protests and whatever. I think we need to be wise enough in one way or the other, and we also need to learn from the past, and also to realize that we are dealing with a ruthless regime, which is just waiting for its venom to attack, the MDC leadership. It has insinuated so many situations whereby they wanted to really eliminate our leadership. But we have been trying to be very smart in one way or the other. And that's what we are keeping on trying. But yet at the same time, we are positioning ourselves we are positioning ourselves with a very smart strategies to push this regime to a corner. So all I'm just trying to say to most of these people who are advocating for Mr. Chamisa to lead the protest, we are not going to be careless as a party to let our president just go into that forefront. It's never going to happen because we know what the junta is insinuating, and all those people, if they are MDC members or if they are real Zimbabwean patriots, they should be able to understand the connotations of this regime. So that's why we are calling for organization of ourselves. How do we organize ourselves? How do we put ourselves together to confront this? It has happened in Malawi, it has happened in Sudan. People, they are just leading those things. It's leaderless protests. But there are leaders who are underneath the individuals who are leading those protests, and we can do it as Zimbabweans. We should move away from antagonistic, attitudes. They are not going to help us at all. We are all suffering. We are all in the same, in the same mode. But what we need positive attitudes, and we need to focus. I don't mind if someone is advocated for protest, for a stay away. Why can't we just support what we lose in supporting that? It will benefit all of us Zimbabweans. Some people, they are just saying because he has called out for this deposit because he's power hungry, power this. Where is that all coming from? I mean, there's nothing about power here. It's about Zimbabwe. It's about how do we approach this government. That's all we need as people, as citizens. That's all I just wanted to say, Mr. Vuka.
Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. Guys, it is quite clear that, as much as we want political parties to get involved in this, but we as citizens, we have to organize ourselves. Those who are saying we have to organize ourselves, because the moment, let's take for controversial sake, like I've given an example already, that if Nelson Chamisa or if Dr. Manyika for Biza was to start this protest, there are repercussions. Not only the guys who are at the top, and even the guys at the bottom, as in like their other party members, they will be persecuted by the ZANU-PF government. They will be. We have seen this happening before. But if it is a citizen-driven protest, then it does make sense. The people who are suffering are the citizens here. We are the people who are suffering. We are the people who are dying because of lack of medicine. So when you hear somebody say, oh, you're always talking, talk. Yes, we always talk so that we can actually agree with each other. We have to communicate. How can we come with solutions if we are not communicating? So it is important that we start communicating, that as citizens, it is important that when we face a situation like this, we are fighting against the government. The government is fighting us. We are at war. It is no secret. We are at war with the Zimbabwean government. Okay? Irregardless of what political party you belong to, irregardless of what Mtupo wako wara jubujaba crap, we are at war with the Zimbabwean government. And it takes each and every single one of us, okay? Each and every single one of us, and we take the fight to the government as citizens, not as MDC, Biza, Zapu, whatever those other political parties. We have got traitors among ourselves. But remember at the same time that you hear these people who come with a different narrative. You know it will never work. That's the first thing that they will tell you. Oh, this and that. Oh, Abantu Bazofa. Yes, we understand all that. We are already dying. Okay? And we know these people are the agents of ZANU-PF. Because how can you be negative with a thing that is being pushed by the citizens? You can't be. You cannot be. Okay? You cannot be. I feel. Okay, if I was talking about MDC, then I would understand people saying, "Oh, all right, it's because you're talking about MDC. I'm not attached to it. I don't want anything to do with political parties." Okay, I'm not talking about political parties right now. I'm talking about Zimbabweans as citizens coming together. Okay, coming together and said, "We have had enough of this government." Wataneta says Katela Saifune let Dotia Basenzela Yona Chadeta Neta Asafun. Okay, I've got somebody wanting a dear leader. Hello, oh my God. She's here. Lydia, I was just about to finish my life, but since you're here, why not? Just gonna bring you in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Vuka, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just gonna give you a few minutes because I was just about to finish. So you've got a few minutes.
Awesome. All I need is 2 minutes. You know what? This thing about citizens organizing themselves is just so simple. You know, this is why I think sometimes we just need women in the forefront of these things. It just simply takes a group of even community, village women just to say, you know what? We have got ourselves to think about what is there for ourselves to be feeding our children, providing for our children, all the hopes, the aspirations that we have. And if you're a young person, just thinking about your dreams, your hopes, those things that you are saying, when I grow up, I want to do this. What is there in the country? What is there right now as the
Mm.
situation is? What is there for you to really think that you can be able to attain those things? Just those simple things should be enough to drive us to
Mm.
come together, to say, guys, we need to organize ourselves. Let's do this. It's very simple. Let's not be swayed by ZANU-PF and this terrorist regime, which tries to divide us. You know, the little things that they try to plant, that, oh, this is so difficult, we can't come together. You know, acting as if it's rocket science. It's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
I keep saying, citizens, we are well equipped already. We've been well fed by the opposition. We have been educated. We have been equipped with knowledge enough for us to understand our rights, to know who we are, how much power we have. And as citizens in this nation, and just that we are great stakeholders of everything to do with Zimbabwe. So that alone, with those things, all that we don't need, we're not at a place where we need to be looking like, oh, so what should we do next? What should we turn left or right? What we know already is enough. We've been equipped enough. Knowledge is power, and you know, without knowledge, we perish. But we have been equipped enough. So let's use all that we know about ourselves, our power, who we are. Let's take that, put it into action. Mobilize, come together, unite. We know what we want. We know where we are, that it's bad. We know that this regime is oppressive. The things that they're doing to us, it's not right. So why should we stand for that? When when one of us calls for something, whether it's a stay away or a demonstration, why should you be still feeling comfortable enough to just to disobey, or to think, oh, they're in it for power? Those things, don't listen to the regime, because those things, honestly, they come from the regime, who's trying to make you not rise up, who's trying to make you not to unite, to say, because they know the power of unity. When we're united and we speak in one voice, we can do great things. We can defeat them, because we are the power. We are the power. People power is everything. And people power depends on us being united, being together. The moment that we're fragmented, thinking, oh, maybe this one's in it for power, or this, that's exactly what the ZANU-PF wants. So let's not buy into those things. Let's just remember that together we are powerful.
Oh, thank you very, very
Thanks,
much,
Vuka.
Lydia, for that. Yeah, you know, thank you. You guys, you remember the story of that Lamborghini? You remember the story of that Lamborghini? This is the government that we have, you know. This should be enough to make you angry. This should be enough to make you angry, you know. We are used to see the leaders, the corrupt leaders, you know, buying expensive cars, living lavish lives, and, you know, making it in life. Yet we are really suffering, and we are doing absolutely nothing. We are doing absolutely nothing. And this is over. They are living large. They're selling the whole country. I wish I could go into details about how they're taking the country. The Chinese people, even Mazimambo, you know, Zenya, Chinese people. The Chinese people, they literally own 2/3 of Zimbabwe right now. They literally own 2/3 of Zimbabwe. And the most dangerous thing you don't want to think about is obviously the Russians. They are owning loads of land in Zimbabwe. I'm not talking about just land. I'm just talking about the richer lands with all the minerals that are desirable, that can make our country a better country again. They own it. It's not ours anymore. That should be enough for us. That should be a good reason for us to fight against the ZANU-PF government, because these minerals, once they are gone, you know, this is our future. This is our children's future. I'm not fighting for myself, okay? I've done with my life. I might look young to you, but I'm not young anymore. I'm done with my life already. But I'm now fighting for my children's future. I'm fighting for my grandchildren's future. The moment we are concentrating on these things of it's absolutely fine. What about your children? What about your grandchildren? We should start thinking ahead. We should have a foresight of seeing things that are quite ahead of us, you know. Maybe we are where we are today. I had to work, like now,
I wish I could tell you how many hours I work a day. I wish I could tell you for how many companies I work. I wish I could tell you the other things that I do to try and increase my earning potential, better myself financially, as well as for the benefit of my children and my future. You know what I mean? And if we all do that, I'm not talking about you working hard, but I'm talking about if we start thinking about the future of our children, okay, it starts by defending for what is rightfully ours. You might not be in Marange, but the diamonds, they are rightfully yours. They benefit you indirectly. Do you have to wait for somebody to die in Parenya for you to start thinking, sure, there's mismanagement of funds, there is misgovernance by the poor governance by the current regime? Is that what you want something to happen to somebody very, very close to you? There was a time, remember, in the 1980s, Patenwa Koko, Netarino, Bodre Tarino, Dent, life was so good. I can surely remember that time. Everything was absolutely perfect. But slowly, and it becoming abnormal. Tarino ikapera, Koko even, you know, and things were getting more difficult and more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. But we were adjusting and adapting to the foolishness of ZANU-PF. And over the past 37 years, they've taken advantage of our resilience. They've taken advantage of our foolishness as well. They've taken advantage of our weakness to manipulate us as well as to steal from us. Over the past 1 year, how many times have they changed currency? From RTGS, from US dollars, multi-currency, and now we're changing into, and they're taking advantage of our ability to keep quiet. We've got the ability to keep quiet, and we use it so perfectly. Our ability to sit comfortably in madunga, in crap. They're taking us for a ride. And surely I know most people do not agree with me, but at the same time, some they do agree with me, and those who agree with me, they definitely know I'm telling you the truth. If we don't flip and fight against this ZANU-PF regime, we are doomed, people. Says feel it. We are doomed. It is important that we take our dignity back. This has to be organized by us as citizens. The Zimbabwean government, the Emerson Dambuzomgande government, the Mnangagwa government is taking advantage of us Zimbabweans because we are a peace-loving nation. We don't fight. Simagwala, Trimagwala, it's true. Okay? We don't fight for what is ours. We don't fight for what is rightfully ours. We don't question our government. We don't bring our government to account. There is no accountability. How does the flipping government lose 2 aeroplanes? Do you know how much the aeroplane cost? Do you know what it takes to lose an aeroplane? And we are still quiet. Yet our government is hiring expensive jets from other countries to fly around the world, globe-trotting and bringing nothing. And we are still quiet. What we are good at is shooting down those people who are speaking against the government. We don't dare lift a finger. We don't dare lift a finger to those even people in Zifa right now. Our warriors, they've done well. Clap hands for them. Even in Musona, clap hands for them. They've done extremely well under the conditions they were. Football, my ex-friend was just explaining to me how sports, it's a mind game as well. They were not conditioned to go and play. You know, how do you expect them to perform well? It is evidential in the ground. It is evidential on the pitch that your welfare is, if it's not taken care of, you will not be able to perform. So how do we expect our economy to perform well? Remember, economy is a study of social, you know, it's social activities, what's happening. Okay? The government itself is illegitimate. The government, it's illegitimate. How do you expect an illegitimate government? It does not inspire confidence in anybody. How do you expect it to have an economy that flourishes? How do you expect that? It's not gonna happen. So it takes us as citizens, I'm just going to try to move away from the term MDC, because people, they're like, oh, you are attaching yourself to MDC. And I understand, okay? I understand why some people, they've got negative things about MDC, or, you know, I understand that. But as citizens, the bottom line is we need to get rid of ZANU-PF, and that message needs to be repeated again and again and again. Yes, they've been in power for 37 years, 38 years, I mean to say 39 years actually, as a matter of fact. They've been in power for 39 years. Emerson Mnangagwa has been in power for 39 years, Emerson. He's been in power for 29 years, and now I'm starting to believe he was the main failure. He is the cause of the failure of Zimbabwe, even during the Robert Mugabe era. Because the same system that were employed by Emerson, by the Robert Mugabe, he is employing the same system. He is actually even worse. He's perfected. He's perfected the systems of Robert Mugabe to destroy our Zimbabwe, our loved Zimbabwe. And that should stop. We can only put a stop to that. Malawians, they've done it. We used to say, hey, Malawi, hey, what? We used to say, Sudan, what, but they're doing it. They're taking some steps, okay? Soldiers, like, just give you a number. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers games. The reason why they are actually buying ammunition, because they understand the numbers games. They knew the economy is going downhill, and it was important for them to start buying ammunition, robotic suits, to threaten and intimidate people, because they understand it's a numbers game. If we were to say, let's fill up the streets, not MDC. It doesn't have to be a political party initiative. It has to be citizen initiative. Taneta, let's go into the street as citizens and have a 1 million march against. We have to have a reason. Against the poor governance of Emerson Mnangagwa, against the mismanagement of our funds, against the, you know, all these things that are happening, the monetary systems and whatever, the human rights, gross human rights abuse by our government. You know, we want to go on a million march against all that. We want to go on it. They know it's a numbers game. We have got less than 50,000 soldiers in Zimbabwe. Okay, we have got less than 50,000 soldiers in Zimbabwe, and they cannot all be stationed in Harare. They cannot all be stationed in Kwabulawayo. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. But the fact that we come in small groups, Tajamuka vari 3, Vana Ningi vari 4, Abo bani by 3 bala payana. Ngeke ukwazi ukulwisa nehulumende. We have to come together. Million march. Let's go for a million march. When are we gonna go for it? How are we gonna organize it? This has to be a citizen initiative to get rid of the Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. Then we can start talking about, you know, there's some, Zimbabwe has got some very educated people. Please, people, Zimbabwe has got some the most educated people with principles that they are prepared to employ. But the current government is stopping us from employing those principles. They're stopping us from practicing our experience, from showing what we can do with the economy. They are stopping us, because they want to continue still. And so give us an opportunity as citizens. Do we have to be given an opportunity, or we have to take that opportunity? Let me rephrase that. We have to take that opportunity. We have to snatch it away from them. We have to. If we don't, we are doomed, people. This message has to be repeated again and again. ZANU-PF, it has to go. It has to go. People, they think I only talk, but I'm not going to tell you what I do on the background. But it is important that as citizens, we take ZANU-PF out. The MDC on its own cannot do it. BZA on its own cannot do it. ZAPU on its own cannot do it. Considering they are facing a brutal regime with pounds and pounds, billions and billions of money to fight, to pay people, to pay my soldier, to pay, you know, they cannot do it on their own. So as citizens, it is important. It is important as citizens. I'm emphasizing the point that as citizens, we definitely is turning in. She's turning in a grave right now. One second, please. I wasn't reading comments. I'd gone. Let me just quickly read the comments here. then probably we can call it. Hi, Moweni DJ. Hi. I see you guys. You have joined. And actually, we do pass on live recording to the suffering masses. We have our ways. Let me just. Someone was responding. And the sad part of it, always social media. People suffering can't even afford to buy airtime to be on live shows like shows. It's needed. People on the ground. Yes. Sometimes what we do record these live videos and we turn them into audios which we pass on around and around. So thank you very much. If you've got a better suggestion, please certainly do give us a suggestion. It is all psychology games to scare us, telling us they've bought guns. True, that without destroying or looting. 3 Patience, that was my Dylan, and Patience Badube is saying the initiative starts from us. Let's mobilize, beg so that we can hire mobile toilets. Maze, there's other suggestions there. Grab the bully by the horn, says Lydia. Yeah, when they see us talking here, they think we are only talking. We are doing a lot in the background. If you want to join Vuka Zimbabwe, Muka Zimbabwe inbox, says Peshima Dube. Our stolen money being used to pay off people. Inkosi Umzilikazi is turning in his grave, says Peshima Dube. So we as citizens, we have to start taking action against this government. If it means we have to mobilize 1 good million march. We have seen a million march that's happening in Sudan right now. I'm watching very close and very careful of what's happening in there. Mr. Thomas Mtangi. Mr. Mtangiri, mkomo wangu, Mamuka say.
Right, Zurufamba.
Mushe.
Hey, Zuru say Komurigo.
No, good right. I was just about to get off. So just gonna give you an opportunity to speak, my brother.
Ayo, nyaya chakaoma. Ma demonstration, yes, they can do it, but isusu vanhu vari kuno vakomana bhegi ndisu tinaro vanhu vakasatumigwa mari kumusha kamwe ndinogara pasi onai mali maona mabhenzi atengwa ndanzwa ndeamunangagwa ora masanctions aaibii panzvimbo zvakafanana izvi asi panoda kusotwa zvinhu zvinenge mabhenzi pipe zvinoafecta po ndopari masanctions. Where are they getting all those monies?
So what are you suggesting, Mr. Mtangi? Yes, I can hear you. You can go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Where are they getting all those monies? Buying all those expensive Mercedes, hiring all those expensive planes. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? The money is there. I still have to buy my sanctions. If we were really organized, we would be able to manage our resources. Even if they wouldn't. Yeah.
No, I hear you. Saka, you're actually saying it's not the sanction that's crippling our economy. It is the poor governance, the mismanagement of our funds.
Yes. You can't say then you talk on a small house. Whatever rent a small house. Watengera small house, you don't see Gucci. Mwana uya achiti tete hamuna mkaka then wamuisambama ndononga. This is exactly what is happening.
Wow.
I know. But at least just a single man guys in Zimbabwe honestly government vari kurelaya
So we
nemari.
should start. So when you see, this is the thing I've always heard from people, that by us stopping sending money to Zimbabwe, it appears as if we are sabotaging the economy. So are we saying we should starve the economy with the money, because this money is being misused? So is it correct that we are sabotaging? Is it correct that we are starving the economy for the government to reform?
Yeah, but we won't be starving the economy. We will be actually starving them, because if the money was helping the economy, do you remember Israel actually yakamuruka nokuda kudhiaspora vachitumira mari ike zvino ndiani tarisa kadevelopere kaita Israel? And do you know mari inotora vanhu venyika dzekuAfrica idzi pane imwe rekera, I'll send you the link kana ndikasakangama. Vari kutora vanhu vari kubva vachivadzidzisa nzira dzeagriculture dziri easy kushandisa vasingadi mvura yakawanda, but vachiproduce more. But I think Nigeria yakatumira some people, if I'm not mistaken, and a few other African countries. But zhinji dzachona hadzina ndozvinhu zvavaifana kudai vachiita, but no, vanongofunga kuti kati.
Yeah, I hear you, Mamtangit. So I think, it's one of those things I've said, that we need, like everyone's saying, we should mobilize. It is important that we mobilize and send this message to people, because we can talk here, but at the same time, we might need to start circulating information, circulating flyers that say, that has got a good narrative, that if we starve the economy with our US dollars, with our pounds, we are starving directly the government, which is using those money to buy my Lamborghini, my Mercedes Benzes. Is that would be a good narrative maybe to start with?
Honestly, if we suffocate this government, this is so Zimbabwe, it pisses me off. And that's zvangu mwana achara masanction. Vanhu vendofungira kuti vakaenda kuchikoro vachitaura isma grade 7 tikatengenani. Unonza vachitaura weti kutaura weti kuti wangu ningo wanga akazofa, ningo wanga akazofa. Ndina vanhu hobo hama dzakafana kushaya mushonga muzvipatara. But those are not Christians. It's management. Ndiudze benzi dzandotengwa dziya 2 dzandaona, those expensive. Kana vanga vatenga maparacetamol, hatichatauri zvimwezvo, vanga vatenga maparacetamol, vaitenga supplies emakorema. Wamwe munataura kuti kwai masanction. Tatita ndege inofamba naMnangagwa kana kuita nzendo dzanoenda meaningless journeys dzanenge tarisai mari anotenda gecheni yanoenda nayo, vanenge vanoda mahotera okuita. Guys, hatirege kutaura kuti masanctions mani zvaungana nomurume uyo akarambana nomukadzi anoti amkanganisa dei asiye izvezvizvi ndiri pane imwe nzvimbo apa vane 10-20 years varambana. So uri kundiudza kuti hapana chaunokwanisa kuita mukadzi ye kana kuti murume yeye asipo. That is nonsense.
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, Mukoma Mtangiri, like I said, I was just about to go. And I just want to thank you for coming in, and your advice. We're gonna be taking it forward, and we're gonna be trying to obviously act upon it. If it means passing information down to the people that matters, and to the communities, I will certainly do so.
That's fine.
Okay, thanks, Mom. Thank you to everybody who have joined us. And we know this political issues usually does not inspire lots of people, but at the same time, I'm gonna say, guys, I really have to go. Thank you very much. That and that tender good manager. May the wonderful Lord bless you. Till we meet again. Halala.